home care partners, happy Monday. So I want to jump to the point of what I got on for today. So if you're looking at starting a home care agency, here's the first step. Number one, you got to decide that you're committed to the process of research. The research part is really some of the most valuable components that you're going to need to have when you're talking about opening your home care, because a lot of times a lot of the research will reveal to you if this business will be a fit. The requirements, background requirements, financial requirements, the understanding of how you get paid, all of those things will help you determine if you really want to open a home care agency. That's number one. Number two, go to your state's website, especially those of you that want to be a Medicaid provider. Medicaid provider simply means you provide non-medical home care services. The state of where you live and the Medicaid component will pay a certain amount of monies to your organization for the rendered services. So you want to know and understand what they want from you, what they require, what you must go through, what you must provide, if you need an office space, if you certain insurances you're going to need. You need to find all that out. And guess what? It's free to find that out. So it's not like you have to pay someone, pay a coach, pay for a course to understand by just simply reading and going to the website. Now, obviously there's things that you're going to be reading that don't make sense to you. It's going to be kind of confusing, the concepts. Remember, you've never done home care before. Even if you're a caregiver or a nurse, you still don't have the business sense of what they're expecting necessarily. You may medically understand it, but maybe on the flip side of the administrative, you don't. So those are some more important steps I think I could give advice to any of you that are looking to get started, that I suggest you do that. Once you look those requirements up and you say, yep, okay, I think I could do this. Step 3 is to put your business plan together. That means sit down, figure out, okay, what am I doing here? What do I want to do? What do I want to accomplish out of this business? Okay, before you get to picking office spaces, you should be understanding the money. The money is the number one, because at the end of the day, if the money is not there, you're just doing or creating another job for yourself. So you want to know what the money is, okay? Then you can say, okay, here's my plan at getting to that money. What type of organization do I want? What do I stand for? What's my mission statement? What's my vision statement? Okay. Now, how do I want to be represented out here in the market? What type of brand am I building? A lot of us skip that. You got to make sure you understand you're building a brand, because guess what, guys? In 10 years, 15 years, however long you stay in, you can sell your agency. But if you build a crappy agency that, doesn't hold any type of weight with your name, what's the point? So you want to take this serious by putting this business plan together. Find out your financials for the first year. Can you fund it yourself? Sometimes you don't need funding. I didn't use funding, by the grace of God. Thank you, Lord. But the fact is, sometimes you might need it. But if you don't have a plan together and you go sit down with these individuals or these entities, they're going to look for a business plan from you. So a business plan doesn't have to be all fancy, but it has to tell a story of how you accomplish this business and what this business is going to provide for the community. Then, once you get that plan together, you will know how to execute the plan. That's when you get into the names, the LLCs, tax identification numbers, finding the location. Do you need a nurse? Don't you need a nurse? Policies and procedures. All that stuff will come, but it is some steps, just like going to school. You need to become familiar with the processes of what, especially for those of you that want to be a Medicaid provider, and of course a private pay. Because you're still taking care of people. People can sue you. You still have a business. You still don't want to operate incompetently, okay? So don't be fooled. Just because someone seems prosperous doesn't mean they're operating competently. And guess what? If they're not operating competently at any point, they can make one more mistake and their whole business goes under. So don't be fooled by what people show you. You want to know that you're competent out of all the aspects of what I'm talking about. That you, the owner, is competent about that business. And then if you delegate out to other staff members, great, but you need to know how it should be ran. So if you're looking for coaching, here's what I suggest. I do offer coaching. I prefer you have done your research before you reach out to me. because that's where we're going to start at. We're going to understand what it is, where you're at in the process first, is usually your first intake assessment with me. And then from there, we develop a game plan. You know, the good part about coaching is you take it as you need it. It's not something that I say, oh, you got to have 7 sessions with me, because you need to go at your pace. And I think it's important for you to not waste your money. I think it's important for you to be committed, because if you're not committed, no one else is going to be more committed to you and your business than you. So therefore, this is the time, guys, if you're looking at getting into it, make sure you start doing some of these steps I'm talking about. Go to my website, CoachLeslie.club. You know, I think the biggest part about, since I've been teaching 25 years, just in general, for business planning as well as coaching other entrepreneurs. And one thing I've learned earlier on is that you cannot be lazy when it comes to research. You have to be on it, so that you're able to competently do what you're doing, okay? And that's with any business. So hopefully that helps you guys. Thank you for always checking up on my page. Make sure you set the little reminder so when I have different tips that I'm doing throughout the week, you get notified about those. CoachLeslie.club. Have a great day.